Hi, welcome. I'm Sue from createwithsue.com and today we're going to make some fractured cards. Now I've done these as Mother Day cards, but you could make them as any card you want. I've also got another design in the works for fractured cards, which would be suitable for happy birthday or any occasion that you might like to make a card for. So this one here, I've used glitter, encapsulated glitter card on it, and you can't really see that in the camera very well, and I've just used a little bit on this one as well. So this was purchased like this, so there's encapsulated glitter card in the packet. This is an Australian brand, so I'm not sure how far around the world this is available, but this is a crafter's choice one, and that glitter card cut really well, so I was really happy with that. I've also used just 2 sheets of card. So I've used a black and a white. You could choose whatever colour you would like. So it doesn't take up a lot of card. And for this one, I've used some Kaiser Craft cardstock, which comes in a pack like this with lots of different choices. I chose that choice because that's what I thought would look nice, but you can use whatever pattern card you actually would like to choose, or no pattern if you choose to. And of course with the ScanNCut. So I've also used art glitter glue. I often use the Tombow glue. I'll put some links in the comments below to some of this. I'll put a comment below for some of the paper that I've used. And there'll be a free pattern in my resource library on createwithsue.com. I'll put a link to that in the bottom too. So if you like this video, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos that I release. And let's get into it. See you soon. Okay, we're at Canvas Workspace. This is the downloaded version. It won't matter which version you use. Just these are the instructions for the downloaded version. So we'll go up to File. Once you have downloaded the free template from the website, pop it into a location that you can find again and make sure you unzip it. So it will come zipped. And then go to File and Import from your computer. And these are the files. I've got some extra ones in mine, so don't take any notice of those at the moment. So you'll see mainly that it's got a file called Mother's Day card and then a base card. So we'll cut the main files out first. So we'll select this one and import it into your program, and it will come in like this. So this bit here is the furthest back piece for the design. In the card with the glitter at the back, this is the one I cut in glitter. This is the one I cut in black, and this is the one I cut in the patterned Kaiser Craft or in the aqua green colour. And then of course here's your heart and the mum, which you can change that to whatever you want just by going over to the text tool and typing your own text. So in the layers panel on the right here, you can send these in a number of ways to your machine. You can select the designs that you want to go in the first pass. If you hide those ones, just these 2 will go when you go Export, Transfer FCM file. So you can choose which ones and come back to your machine and then hide the ones you've already cut and put the next lot on, however you want to do it. I am going to send all of them in one hit, which is a little fiddlier in some ways, but if you're using a USB, so if you're taking your file over via USB, this is potentially the easiest way for you to do it. So we'll just go File and Export, Transfer FCM, and So if you're going USB, you would save it to your USB, but we're going Wi-Fi. So I'm going to select that one, and I'll see you over at the machine. Okay, we're at the machine and we will load our mat. Come around here and load the mat. I've got my silver encapsulated cardstock on there. Go to retrieve. Now, if you've brought it over via the USB, you would select that one. However, we brought it over by Wi-Fi, so we'll choose this one. And I'll just speed some of this up if it takes too long when I edit. I've got the black blade in, so the black blade. Make sure it's clean, so you just unscrew that and check to make sure that your blades hasn't got bits of fluff or card, or some cardstock's very fluffy. The black that I'm using I haven't liked either. So, and there's the design. So at this point, because I've sent it all through, if we had left those toggle eye icons off, it would have just sent these two pieces here. I'm only going to cut this piece and this little tiny heart down here, this first pass. So we are going to go into edit and remove any extra pieces we don't want. We're not deleting them from the file, we're just deleting them from the machine so it doesn't cut it. So if you have the ability to piece your card on here separately, you could all cut this in one hit, so to speak. I've got a full A4 length of card, so I don't really want to cut that up. But if I was using scraps, which you can do, I often use scraps, cut the bit that's left, for example. It's a little piece of scrap here, a bit hard to see. You can see I've cut some hearts out of it. I could use that and then line it up, but I'm not going to do that for this one. And so it's just asking me if it's okay to delete. I'm going to go okay. It's bounced to the red boxes, bounced to the next one. I'm going to delete that as well. And I want this one, so I don't want it to delete that one. So we'll just move that up there and just select the one you want to delete, and delete, delete, and delete. And I want that one to go. Delete and okay. So we're just left with those two pieces, which is what I want to cut on this piece of card at the moment. We'll go okay. If you have, so it's just a full piece of card, so I know that is actually going to fit. If you've got 12 by 12 cardstock, that also would probably not warrant having to scan the machine. But one of the great features of the ScanNCut is the ability to scan your paper or cardstock or materials that's on your mat, so you can place everything perfectly. And in a moment this will appear. And you can see that that is where the cardstock is. And that is where it cuts. So at this point you could move it. If you were using scrap, you would just move that into place. So we'll go okay, select cut, and make sure your half cut is off. I would recommend a test cut, so you can pop a test cut on there, and you'll see it's down here, which has missed the cardstock. So just grab it, move it up, pop it up there somewhere, and start. So I've been really happy how this encapsulated glitter card has cut out. Some glitter card loses its pieces, and that's not very good. So once it's finished cutting, just go okay. Okay, so we're back at the screen we were at. So now we are going to delete what we've done so far, and go to home and okay to delete, and we're going to retrieve that data again. So once again, go to your USB or Wi-Fi, however you brought it in, and this time we will select the objects we've already cut out and delete those, and leave, and also delete any other objects that you don't want to cut in this pass and leave the ones you're going to cut. So I'm going to put black card on here next on my mat and cut the black out, which means I'm going to cut the black backing and the 2 M's for mum. And I am going to remove the fractured card pattern piece and delete that, and so I'll just click on that and delete and OK, and the other little heart will delete that too. So we're just left with what we're going to cut on the black cardstock, and once again you could scan it if you want to. I'm cutting it exactly where it is going to, placement was exactly the same spot for the card, but we'll just scan it so you can see the black card on there. I'll speed this up. So there's the black card, but you notice that you cannot see the pattern. Go into the tools icon there and you can see background. You can change the background, you can turn it off or make it lighter or darker, and that way you can see where your placement of your design is against your material, and just move it to suit what you're cutting, what your material looks like. Go OK. Once again, select cut. You can do a test cut again if you wish to. I'm probably not going to worry this time. And just go start, and this will cut. And I'll speed this bit up as well. So I haven't liked this black card very much. I like the white in this brand, but I haven't liked the black so much. It's very fluffy and left a lot of bits on my mat. It cut okay. It's not awful. I've cut worse black. Black in particular seems to be a bit of a problem. Cut a few blacks and haven't loved them. Some black's fine. So if you find a good black, stick to it. That's my advice. This one's not it. It's okay. And it's black. So I wanted black. But just take it off the mat. I usually leave the mat loaded in the machine to make sure it's cut through. You can always do a second pass if you haven't cut it through properly. There's the M. And just, you can give your mat a little bit of a bend to flick the card up, and then it will just lift off. There's your other M. It's cut out really well actually, considering I didn't like this card. As I said, you can see all the fluffy bits on the mat that it left. So with baby wipes, you can use a fragrance-free, alcohol-free baby wipes. Any brand, doesn't really matter. Some have a little bit more lint in them, so if you get a lint one, perhaps a different brand to that. But most brands I've tried have been perfectly fine. And give your mat a little bit of a wipe, and that most of that fluffy stuff will come off, and it will rejuvenate the stickiness. It gets it sticky back. I have also some videos on and tutorials on how to recover mats from all sorts of problems. So look for those on my website, createwithsue.com, and you can, there's heaps of tips on how to fix mat problems basically. But this one, if you use the baby wipes, this is a good one just to get rid of excess fluff, and it does a good job. Okay, so it's cleaned up pretty well. So we can go back to cutting again. So finish cutting, go OK, and once again go back to home and repeat the steps, bringing in your data and choosing the pieces you haven't cut out yet. So I'll speed this up. This round I'll use the Kaisercraft patterned cardstock and that fractured design pattern piece and the heart to cut out. So this is a 12 by 12 card, so you can move those pieces wherever you would like to position them. I'm going to just leave them at the bottom because I'll just cut it at the bottom. It's 12 by 12, doesn't really matter where I cut it. Plus I wanted to use that piece of card, that the pattern from that area. And I'll speed this scanning section up again. Okay, so you can see the heart there on the screen, but I wanted to capture the butterfly on the right. So just move the pieces so they get the pattern that you particularly want. And you can see there's a little butterfly. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but there's a little butterfly. I'm going to put the heart around so it captures it in the top part of there it is. So it cuts it out right there. That's the benefit of being able to scan your pattern, your paper, so you can see your pattern and move your pieces accordingly so they're how you want them. All right, we'll go OK and cut and do a test cut. This is, I haven't used this cardstock before, so we'll do a test cut to make sure that it's okay. I don't need to adjust my settings at all. I'm going to move that triangle down to a piece so I'm not cutting it in the middle of my cardstock and it's on the edge there. We'll do the test cut. I'll speed this up. And when you're happy with the test cut, just press start and it will cut your pieces, the remaining pieces out. There's my little piece. Okay, and I'll speed this bit up as well. You notice that my cardstock's hanging off the edge of the main area a little bit. It's not hiding the registration marks. Doesn't really matter too much for those bottom registration marks. The top ones you don't want to cover over though. I was fairly happy with this cardstock as well. It's cut out quite nicely. It's not solid core because it's got pattern one side, but it's very nice to cut. And when you finish cutting, go OK. And we'll put it together in a moment. So just peel your pieces off, just lift it. You can give your bat a little bit of a bend again. Peel it off gently. You can use your scraper if you need to get them off, the pieces off the mat and they're not lifting. You can see that's where the pattern cut out. Just bend and use your little scraper that came with your machine. Just lift the pieces off. And try and keep these pieces in order. It's a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle. So if you keep them roughly where they're going to be sitting, makes it much easier, I've discovered, because I was sitting working that out for one of the trials. And I thought, need to think about that a bit more. So put them roughly where you need to have them located when you're going to glue them down on your base piece. So the next bit we're going to do is clear this design and bring over the base card so we can cut that out. So go to Home, delete the pattern, and then back to Canvas Workspace to send the next part of the pattern. Okay, here we're at the mat. You can either start a new mat and go File New, or bring in the design over the top and I'll show you how to remove the other pieces of the design. Choose the base card this time and go OK. And if you select the top object that you want to remove, hold your Shift key down and the bottom object and it will select all the ones in between and hit the delete key. And there they've gone. So whichever way is easiest for you, doesn't really matter. Make sure you group the base of the card with the dashed line, and down the bottom you'll see the group, or you can go Control G, and you can also choose to change the dashed line dash. So I'm going to change it to a little bit wider dash, but you can choose whichever size you like. I think I'll go with that one. So just go down to the dash line and choose whichever one. You could also choose draw. So if you go into the layers panel there and drop that down, you can choose draw. So you could score that dashed line. And I have got a video showing you how to score with that. Send it to your machine and I will see you at the machine in a moment. All right, so we're back at the machine. Bring it in just the same as we've done previously. You can choose to scan your mat with your materials on it or not. I've put an A4 piece right up the top, so this card fits right at the top. I haven't scanned it this time. And when you're ready, go start and cut it out. And I will see you over at the making mat very shortly. Okay, so line the pieces up, pop your heart in the centre, roughly where the centre is. So just to give you a bit of a guide, it's going to be a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. So we can tell that bit's at the bottom. Try and keep them, when you first cut them, try and keep them kind of in the right place, and then it won't be quite as much of a jigsaw puzzle. And that looks like that's got a corner there, so we'll just move that heart over a little bit. So I'm pretty sure that bit goes there. So we'll piece that bit down, turn it over. I hope I'm still in camera. Let's put that over here for a minute. So I'm using art glitter glue. It's got the fine point, and you can use your tweezers if you've got some. Mine aren't that great. Yep, no, mine aren't going to be that good at all. I've got another pair there somewhere. I'll see if I can find them in a minute. Okay, so there's our first piece. And it pops right in the corner. And it's right on the edge, so there's no black showing at this stage. Okay, that's the first bit in. And then this looks like the second bit. So that goes right in the corner, and there's our gap. Now you can make this a little bit different if you want. You could make this piece bigger, or you could have black. You choose your colours. So that'll go up there a little bit more. I've just done it this way. So you have got the option to do it different ways. I'll see if I can find a bit better. Isn't so good. See if I can find a bit better pair of tweezers, because it's often easier with a pair of tweezers. Just wipe that glue up that I've just tipped everywhere. My handy dandy baby wipes. I think I'll go through more baby wipes than my daughter. Good job, they're very inexpensive. So this is our next piece. Are we still on camera? Oh, yes. And just drizzle some glue, get it right to the point as best we can. Now this piece here is roughly the same distance. So before I let it get set too much, I'll pop that piece, because that piece is going to go there, and center it slightly, because this glue dries very quickly. And once it's down, it's down. There we go. It's not too bad. So kind of space it out. This piece is I'm going to raise this piece so it's higher. And then this will pop on top of that. So I have the silver around the outside edge. So I'm just using this centerpiece as a bit of a guide for the moment. Okay, so we just go along, pop the glue there, try and get it in the points. It's usually the points that don't stick. This glue sticks very quickly. I've been using the Tombow, which is pretty good too. A little bit different type of glue. We've still got our piece here, just giving us a bit of a guide. And we've got two more pieces to pop in. So this piece here I can see goes here. So you can see it's just a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. Now the centre heart, I've done the same pattern, but you could put a different colour there if you wanted to. That heart could be, I was nearly going to cut it out of the silver. I could do it in silver, like a shiny silver, or the glitter, but I thought I'll just do it matching. So how much you lift things is purely up to you. I do find sometimes, especially in my early days, that I over exaggerated those lifts and ended up with way too many popped layers, so to speak. So sometimes less is more, I've worked out over the time. And we will pop that right on the centre. Now you can put whatever sentiment you want. I'm putting mum, because for me this is my mum's card. And I've picked the butterfly, so she rather likes butterflies. You could put another layer of colour on the front there, so this stood out a little bit more. And then I'm going to use the heart in the middle for the O or the U, depending on what country you're in. So this layer here is, I've got it on a white card. Probably if you did it on a black card, it might even stand out a bit more. Now, so this sits flat, often I will put something on it like a book, just to get everything sitting a bit a bit flatter. Now, if you've got a little bit of distressed ink, you could distress your edges and get a nice effect. I might go and look for something to do that with. And there's our card. It's a fractured Mother's Day card, but you could put happy birthday or a number or a Valentine's. You could use this card for any reason at all. And I've got another fractured card in progress without the hearts, a little bit different again. Check my website for files, and remember to like and subscribe if you've liked this video. Happy creating. Catch you next time.